Today we're back in Puerto Banús filming successful entrepreneurs such as these guys.
And we're going to ask them exactly how they started, how they got to where they are, and any inspiration for the younger generation.
So without further ado, let's get into it. Yeah, so I wondered what you do to, have such a nice car and...
Yeah, cool. So, my name's Mark, this is Marcus. So we build softwares, fintech, and then we also trade gold. We have a big network where we teach people basically for free.
Nice. And how did you start your journey?
Mine started a long time ago, like 15 years ago in business. I was self-taught with graphic design, systems, developing CRMs, databases, automations, that kind of thing. And then through different industries and different businesses, we essentially arrived at the same point where we moved into the trading world around the same time.
Yep.
And then with Marcus's coding background and marketing background as a really cool creator, then my business operations experience, the two things sort of came together.
Nice. And I guess if you had one message for the younger generation trying to do the same, what would that be?
Do so much work that it would be unreasonable to fail.
Nice.
That's an Alex Hormozy quote, that one.
I like Alex Hormozy too, yeah. No, I appreciate that.
All right, beautiful.
Thanks very much, yeah.
Cheers, guys.
George.
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
So, yeah, I'm with Max and I'm just asking, what did you do to be able to afford such a nice car?
Awesome, brother. Well, basically, we're gold traders, okay? So we trade in the foreign exchange market and the financial markets. This is obviously the ability to be able to use your own money, leverage it up, and ideally try and pull some money out of the stock market or the financial markets. What we do education, okay? We do in-life trades, and we just basically generally help as many people as possible. We are completely free, so there's no free charge on what we do. Everything what we give out is materialistic and it is very good, all right?
And how did you start your journey?
Mate, 10 years ago, ended up going with a company called IM Markets. They were basically the leading US company to bring it into the UK. First started with them and then basically brought all my knowledge into what I'm doing now and basically passing it on, mate, yeah.
Oh, that's amazing, obviously it's working. And I guess if you had one message for the younger generation, trying to do the same, what would it be?
Mate, just keep going, graft, there's only one chance you'll get. If you get that chance, take it.
Nice. Really appreciate that.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Can we connect?
Yeah, absolutely, George. Yeah, definitely, mate.
Appreciate that. Matt and Max, both working within the fintech industry and also trading gold. Funnily enough, they were also filming their own footage with their Lamborghini. They were super open to speak and even suggested us connect with them. Clearly people that want to see other people succeed. And they also let us film the intro with them.
So I was just wondering, what exactly you do to have such a nice car like this?
Basically, I'm working really hard to achieve what I have now. Really, really hard working and focused about what you want and driven about what you want to get in life. Sometimes you have bad moments, sometimes good moments, and you try to get the good moments on the top and focused about working and to be lucky as well.
Yeah.
But to be lucky, you need to work to get that luck and the things you want in life.
Of course, yeah. And what exactly do you do, if you don't mind me asking, to have something like this?
Working in the energy sector, sales for energy and for companies that need a lot of energy and that consume a lot of energy.
Mm-hmm. And if you had one piece of advice, the best piece of advice you could possibly give to a young entrepreneur out there, giving it their all, what exactly would you tell them to do?
Of course, to be focused about working, to get lucky, and to not step back when you have an issue to face.
Yeah.
Find a solution and to keep on going.
Perfect. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. As you just saw, this guy said that he works the hardest he can to make a success of himself. He works in the energy sector, which he obviously has done very well with to have such a nice car.
So I just wanted to ask, what do you do to have such a nice car?
Well, to work very hard,
yeah.
Because I have to work very hard to pay it, and I do a lot of kilometers during the year.
Okay, and how did you start your journey?
My journey,
Yep.
doing sports, because I am a sailor, and I have to keep in good shape to do my job well.
Wow. Okay, nice. Yeah. And I guess the last thing is, if you had one message for the younger generation trying to build wealth to inspire them, what would that be?
Yeah, I think they should. I have 4 children, and they should prepare for the future, working every day and pushing to make a better person every day.
Yeah, that's amazing. Thank you very much.
Yes, to you.
Really appreciate it. Thank you. That was a story about a sailor starting his journey through physical activity. Of course, he mentioned that he had to stay fit because sailing can be very physically demanding. He mentioned that he had 4 children, which is why he was very eager to do the interview to teach other people that working hard and staying motivated can lead to a successful career.
I'm here with,
Haiko Dana.
nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
And as you can see here, we've got a beautiful Porsche that's just parked up. Now, I wanted to ask you, what exactly is it that you do to be able to achieve something like this? What kind of work do you do?
So actually, I'm a professional athlete.
Okay.
I'm a professional golf player, and I have a background in law. So I did my law degree, my academics, but I then decided to pursue my passion and my dream, and that's what I do.
Awesome. Yeah. And what would you say? Would you say it was difficult to kind of go from that, such a corporate job, to then getting into a sport and putting your all into that? How was that for you?
I mean, there is some correlations between the corporate world and the world of an athlete, where you can take some, because we share the same values at the end of the day. It's totally different, but we do share some values.
And what would you say to the younger generation that are trying to become maybe a professional athlete? What would you say to them when they're starting young, how they can get up to them bigger ranks?
I just think everything you do in life, there's 2 secret ingredients to it. One is passion. So whatever you do with passion, and then nothing becomes like work. Everything is just comes out of your heart. And then the other thing is discipline. So you do have to put in a lot of work. Nothing comes easy in life. And you just put work, and just keep knocking. And then things happen eventually.
Perfect. Well, thank you very much. Thank you for talking.
Thank you for your time.
And so I'm now here with Haiko's partner. What's your name?
Helen.
Helen.
Yes.
And what do you do for a living? Because I know that you said you're also quite successful as well.
Kind of. I don't know. I let the world judge. I work in strategy consulting.
Okay. Amazing. And how did you get into that?
That's a very good question. I like to solve problems and advise people, and that's how I slided into that job, I guess.
Awesome. Yeah. And at what kind of age did you start that? Did you go to uni to do that, or did you just get it from experience?
No, absolutely. I studied, and then I started when I was 24 and still around a few years later. I will not tell you my age now.
Okay. And what would you say, same question again, what would you say is some sort of inspirational quote or the best thing that you could tell the younger generation?
Yeah. Similar to what Haiko said, I would just say it's skill and will. You need the right skill set, especially now with AI that everything is changing. It's not enough to just ask ChatGPT for the answers. You really have to get it yourself.
Yeah.
And will, because it needs the right mindset. So it doesn't help if you're lazy. You need to put in the work. And everyone who's telling you it works without putting the work, it's a lie. So skill and will.
You have to always work hard. You can't just be lazy with it.
Work smart, not hard, always.
Yeah.
And it will bring you where you want to be.
Perfect. And that is literally a power couple. There we go. Thank you very much. I can't believe I've just interviewed this absolute power couple. One of them, believe it or not, is a professional golfer and the other one works as a consultant. They both wished us the very best, and it just shows that you can meet some absolutely amazing people out here.
So I'm with, what's your name?
Nejati.
My name's George, nice to meet you. And I just wondered what you do to have such a nice car.
Working too much.
Working too much?
Yeah. I have a freight company.
Yep.
Trucks. Yep. All over the world. And also software like Uber, but for the trucks.
Okay.
That's what I do.
Nice.
Okay.
And how did you start the journey?
Start with the computer.
Yeah.
To start with writing the software basic. Then develop it. Then when it got something more and more member, more subscriber, then we bought some trucks, then it's growth. That's all.
Nice. And
well, everything started with working.
Yeah, of course. And I guess the last thing is, if you had one message to inspire the future generation, what would that be?
Never give up. That's all.
Okay.
Never give up.
I cannot believe when we first asked him if we could interview him, he asked, which business should I talk about? If that doesn't describe an entrepreneur, I don't know what does. He said he started from humble beginnings, starting working on his laptop, developing the code. He later bought trucks, started the freight company, while simultaneously developing an app similar to Uber, but for the trucks. A really nice man, and he even asked if he could take a selfie with us before he left. Yeah. I was just wondering, what you do to have such a nice car, basically.
I've been working 15 years since I arrived.
Yep.
In nightclubs here in the port.
Okay, nice.
Like PR. I started like PR.
Yeah.
I keep selling tables around.
Okay.
and then I play drums.
Oh, really?
And people are very generous with me with tips.
Okay, and you have that on Instagram or anything, like drums?
Yes,
you post stuff?
but mostly, you know, I don't need Instagram because I don't do private events.
Okay.
I work in a couple of disco here.
Okay, nice.
One is Mirage here in the entrance, which is closed at the moment. It's gonna open now soon in with the new season. And the other one is La Habana, the Hemingway.
Okay, and how did you start that? How did you get into it?
But the drums was my passion.
Yeah.
Then I came here to learn Spanish.
Okay, nice.
And then I said, what can I do? I do PR because, you know, it's fun, nighttime.
Yeah.
I speak English, so. And then, finally I say to the owner of the club, can I play the drums? Little by little, it came a proper job. My fiance, we also rent properties here in Puerto Banús.
Nice.
We do rentals and it's working well. Yeah.
Nice.
Thanks God.
Thank you. And the last thing is, if you had an inspirational message for the younger generation trying to build wealth, what would you say?
Yeah, you need to be constant. I mean, it seems like easy to work with drums in the night.
Yeah.
But every day during many years, it's not easy. But I always been there. Always been there. Yeah. I never stopped. I don't do like I'm sick or something. No, I'm always there and people appreciate it.
Yeah.
So it's very important for the people who give you the job and also for the clients to see that you are a serious person and very passionate in your work.
Yeah. All
right.
Thank you very much. That was a little different to the other interviews we've done. He's a drummer and he's making a success of himself. It really proves that you can turn your passions and hobbies into a successful career.
So that's the end of this video. I hope you really enjoyed. We're off to actually film a yacht now because we've got huge things coming up in the future.
Hello. So make sure you like and subscribe to see the future videos we have in store for you. So we will see you in the next video.